Nintendo has taken us to many stunning locations. We've warped with Mario through many biomes of the Mushroom Kingdom, created an island paradise in Animal Crossing, and traveled the plains of Hyrule with Link. Though Nintendo is known as a premier family-friendly video game publisher, there is a darkness behind its success, and I'm not talking about Mommy Bayonetta. From gambling cards to love hotels, the company has dabbled in various business ventures before making it big in the world of video game entertainment. These early business ventures led them to make deals with some rather unsavory people, the Yakuza. Nintendo's history begins with a set of playing cards introduced to Japan in 1549 by a Spanish Catholic missionary named Francis Xavier. When this missionary came to Japan, he brought a set of playing cards. This deck contained 48 cards with suits divided into different ranks. The people of Japan had never seen playing cards before. They were used to random objects or elegantly painted shells in their games. The people of Japan fell in love with these playing cards, and they quickly became the primary gaming pieces for numerous games, including gambling. At the time, playing cards began consuming the Japanese population. The shogunate, a military dictatorship, had de facto power over Japan. This group saw Western influences as a threat to their stability of power. So, to protect their power, the shogunate formed a foreign policy titled Sakoku, meaning lot country. As the name implies, this restricted trade between Japan and all other countries, therefore banning all Western products, including Japan's beloved playing cards. The time period of this policy was named the Edo period. It began in 1603 and lasted for 265 years, ending in 1868. So you may be wondering what all of this has got to do with Nintendo, but we're getting there. Just wait. No longer able to use Western playing cards, people in Japan invented their own. So in the mid-1800s, a set of cards called Hanafuda, flower cards, were created. They were derived from the Western playing cards and the Japanese game Kai Awase, which was based on matching sets, poetry, and conventionalized art. These decks contained 48 cards and had 12 suits. Each represented a month of the year. Each suit contained 4 cards and was represented by a unique plant or flower. However, people who created these cards had to be careful. If they too closely resembled their Western counterparts, they would get banned. And this happened a lot. In 1886, the Meiji government decided to open the doors to Western trade, lifting the ban on playing cards. Still, people were hesitant to purchase or sell anything remotely similar to these cards that had been illegal for nearly 3 decades. Some people, however, saw this as an opportunity. There was one entrepreneur, Fusajiro Yamuchi, who saw potential in these Hanafuda cards, which most people were too afraid to venture into such a taboo business. Fusajiro saw this as an opportunity to make bank on an untapped market and sell Japanese-themed playing cards to the Western market. On September 23, 1889, 29-year-old Fusajiro started a small business in Kyoto, Japan. His employees handcrafted and artistically painted sets of these cards on the back of Mitsumara trees. He named his business Nintendo Koppai. In English, it was called Nintendo Playing Card Co. And that was Nintendo's first business venture. However, Fusajiro Hanafuda business didn't go exactly as he had planned. As it turned out, the Japanese people loved his cards, and they became highly popular gambling tools in Japan. So popular, in fact, that a particular criminal organization became a primary customer, the Yakuza. The Yakuza had a large presence in Kyoto, and the majority of their business in that area was, well, gambling. Fusajiro also happened to be a major gambler. Coincidence? There's much speculation over Fusajiro's inspiration for the name of his company. Some believe the name means leave luck to heaven, or the Temple of Heaven, a reference to the Yakuza. There's also a theory that the name had a secretive connotation referring to the discreet way people searched for a place to play Hanafuda. The name Nintendo is broken up into 3 kanji symbols. It is believed 10 may have been short for Tengu, a mythical creature with an unusually long nose. The word for nose in Japanese is hana, which can also reference flower, like the Hanafuda cards. In Osaka and Kyoto, people would rub their nose to signify signal that they were looking for a Hanafuda den. The symbol for nin matches the same symbol used for nin in the word ninkyo, which translates to chivalry. The Yakuza believed themselves to be heroes of the community and considered themselves chivalrous. The use of the symbol nin in Nintendo could be a throwback to Fusajiro's most prized customers. The only person who knows the answer to this mystery is Fusajiro, and, well, he's not talking. The Yakuza began setting up Hanafuda parlors. They love these cards so much that many Yakuza included Hanafuda cards in their elaborate body tattoos. By the 1960s, the gaming market had changed dramatically, and Nintendo was forced to diversify its business and looked into new opportunities to stay afloat. Welcome to Nintendo's House of Love. After the end of World War II in 1945, Japan experienced a rapid economic growth, urbanization, and major changes to its social and cultural norms. This included more freedom in their romantic and sexual relationships. If you didn't know already, living quarters in Japan are insanely small. And if you want some time alone with your partner for a little woohoo, you're not going to get it. This led to the establishment of love hotels. These hotels allowed couples seeking a few hours of privacy and nice romantic space and alone time to do, well, their thing. Hishiro Yamauchi, Fusajiro's grandson, was running Nintendo Koppai and was the one who shortened the name to Nintendo. By the early 1960s, the playing card market in Japan was heavily saturated. The Nintendo Card Co. was no longer a booming enterprise. Plus, the company was, facing a lawsuit by one of its competitors, Kabushiki Kanisha Hota, who accused Nintendo of stealing Hanafuda card designs from them. This lawsuit is not well documented, but there's no doubt it put more financial strain on the company. Hiroshi was ready to try just about anything to keep the family business going. They tried selling their own brand of instant rice and even started a taxi company, but neither of these succeeded. Like his grandfather, who saw the potential in Hanafuda cards, Hiroshi saw an opportunity to pull Nintendo out of financial ruin by investing in the growing demand for love hotels. So, in 1963, Nintendo's chain of love hotels opened for business. History was soon to repeat itself as the Yakuza once again saw an opportunity to profit from Nintendo and a new booming market. I need to point out that there is no documentation to prove these claims, but there are rumors that the Yakuza wanted to use Nintendo's hotels for their prostitutes. Supposedly, they spoke to Nintendo, who felt they had no choice but to agree to the Yakuza's request for fear of retaliation. Fact or not, Nintendo's love hotels didn't pan out, and they didn't stay in that business for very long. So, they continued their focus on their playing cards. By 1966, Nintendo had machines that mass-produced Hanafuda cards. Hiroshi had maintenance engineers who maintained these to ensure that there were no faulty cards that made it out of the factory. One of these employees, Gunpei Yokoi, said this task was important since these cards are often used for gambling. People from the local mafia would often come to Nintendo very angry. Gunpei would play a significant role in leading Nintendo into the gaming industry, where the company would finally become a success. In 1980, Nintendo found success in the gaming industry with their first handheld device, the Game & Watch. From there, the company would release a variety of games and gaming systems that would continue to turn the company into the powerhouse it is today, all Yakuza free. At least for a while. In November 1990, Japan was expecting Nintendo's next grand release, the Super Famicom, known as the Super NES in North America. Unfortunately, the Yakuza had also moved up and found a new and highly profitable business, stealing electronic devices and reselling them at high prices. No matter what direction Nintendo took their business, it seemed like the Yakuza followed like a shadow. But this time, Nintendo was not about to let them get involved in their operations. They kept their shipments safe from the Yakuza by planning deliveries at odd hours and by keeping these times top secret. None of the shipments were ever stolen. To this day, Nintendo has kept a clean slate and steered clear of dealing with the Yakuza, safeguarding its reputation as a family-friendly game publisher. They won't even allow the Yakuza on their Switch. Talk about commitment.